الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين محمد وآله وأصحابه أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ فاستعذ بالله إنه هو السميع العليم صدق الله العلي العظيم وقد قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My most respected gathering, may the peace, mercy and blessings of Almighty Allah descend upon us all. First Jummah for the month of Shawwal. Just as one of us, when we go to the banks and we make a withdrawal and we have cash with us, our pockets are filled, bags are filled, wallets, something of value, we tend to look over our shoulders. We look right and left carefully to see who might be looking at us. We move away for that valuable contents. We drive off and we keep looking at the mirror to ensure that no one is tracing us. Very smart person does like that. Just as Ramadan finishes, undoubtedly, that is the condition of the true believers. Having observed the month of Ramadan, its days and nights as it ought to be observed, with all that mercy, with all that forgiveness, the accounts are hefty. Knowing for 1 month, there was one with his friends who were in captivity. And I am not talking about the brothers in Africa. They were in captivity to a certain degree, but they were not in chains. I am talking about a group of beings who were chained and flung into the oceans. Even though they were chained and flung into the oceans, they could have held meetings, they could have planned how to elude the righteous servants when we come out of that captivity. And we have to be very smart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Quran, we find this in chapter 7, verse 200, وَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ. Now it means temptation, evil thought. If ever the temptation from shaitan, from the devil afflicts you, you are sensing, you are feeling, as much as you have made up your intention, you cry and beg. You may tawbah and ask Allah to keep you on the right path. You must sense when there is something coming from right, left, the front, the back, the temptation as it comes to you, give it no chance. Allah, our love for us, is saying, when such a temptation comes, He is ordering, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. At once, seek refuge in Allah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Even the temptation that comes to you from shaitan, that's the will of Allah. It is He, Allah, who created us, and He created the devil. He created good and He created bad. But out of His love for us, He has given us the recipe. He is showing us when it comes, don't take the bait. فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. Seek refuge in Allah. He is indeed very responsive. He is informing إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. He is all hearing. He heard the intentions you made during the auspicious month. He heard the plans that were made by the devil. Alim, He is Alim, He is all knowing. He knows what you intend. He knows you want to be on the right path. He's telling you when it comes, you do not welcome it. At once, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Not once or twice, a few times. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. When that name of Allah is taken, أعوذ بالله, at once it weakens shaitan. In hadith we have learned, لا تقل تعس الشيطان. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, do not ever say, ta'isa shaitan. The Arabs who knew the language, they used to say, ta'isa shaitan. Curse this Satan. Don't say that. Do not call his name like that. When you call his name, he feels big. Ta'isa shaitan. فَإِنَّكَ إِذَا قُلْتَ تَعِسَ شَيْطَانَ. For indeed, when you say ta'isa shaitan, curse the shaitan, ta'adama, feels great. And he says, بِقَوَّةِ سَرَعْتُهُ. It is with my power. I cause man to fall. He is strong. Hearing his name called alone. Of all the names in the world, when you say ta'isa shaitan, when shaitan hears his name like that, he's powerful. He remembers me. He remembers me. But the Rasul one, he said, إِذَا قُلْتَ, when you say Bismillah, in the name of Allah, the shaitan, he becomes a small, حَتَّى يَسِيرٌ إِذَا اللَّهِ, until he becomes like a fly. It's different from saying A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. You're not saying shaitan alone. When you say A'udhu Billah, that phrase alone, and seek refuge with Allah, there is no room for him to feel great. For you have taken Allah's name, you are calling his name from him, and seek refuge with Allah from Satan, the rejected one. That's when he becomes small and radiant, just like a fly. My brothers and sisters, have you pondered, who is my friend? Each person, do I have a friend? Who is really my friend? You know what is our mistake? We do not know who are our friends and who are our enemies. Without right knowledge, a person who would admonish you and pull you up for something wrong you were doing, and wants to take him as an enemy. Wrong. A very wrong. The person who would admonish you, the person who would tell you, brother, sister, look, what you're doing is not right, behave yourself. You stop talking with him. That's your good friend. That's your friend. Your friend may not necessarily be the one who only offers words of compliments to you. In hadith we have learned, a person who compliments and praises you all the time anywhere you are, he has destroyed you. And there are many people who by nature, they like to stay in a group of people where they get praises from people of themselves. It's better you stay with people that criticize you. They make you better. People do not like to welcome constructive criticism. Be it in school, in their jobs, wherever. But if only one knows how very valuable that is, it makes you better. It makes you better. We take the wrong people as enemies. MashaAllah, all believers, Allah has made it clear. In the Mu'minun, all believers are brothers and sisters. We are not enemies. But in fact, Allah has made us mirrors for one another. We are like the different parts of a building. Each part lending support one to the other. Someone pulls up on you. See that as a favor. And the Prophet he said, "Unsur akhaka zaliman aw madluman." Help your brother, whether he is doing injustice or whether injustice is done to him. The companions asked the Prophet of Allah, if a brother is being wrong, we know we can help him. But how could we help a person who is doing injustice? How could we help the wrongdoer? The reply came, tell him don't do that. Tell him what he is doing is wrong, and that is your help to him. Not because he is your partner and you will fear a little cut in relationship, you do not look wrong. Help him all the time. We must learn to take the real enemy as an enemy. And for believers, we have one enemy. We have one enemy, and that is shaitan. Don't see the Muslim brothers and sisters as enemies. Never. That's a wrong concept. Allah indeed has said that shaitan, that is your enemy. That is your enemy. Do not, or let us not become like how the people are in the world. Because of the environment in which we live, so we become. Everybody does like that, so we do the same as what people do. And there is the same thing with the Romans. Do what they do. No, that's wrong. Take a note of the fishes in the ocean. That's their life. They were hatched in the ocean. In salty water they live. From small they grow up to adults, and that's the place where they spend their life. Have you ever taken a scoop of water from the sea and drink it? Salty, very salty. A fish lives in that environment. Day and night, drinking the water, sobbing. A fish that lives in the salty ocean, you take it. When you are cooking, you have to put salt. It does not ever become salty because of the environment in which it lives. These are fishes. We are human beings. Allah said, I have created, we have created man in the best form and fashion. He has the greatest knowledge. We have given him intellect, made him intellectuals. Yes. So much Allah has spoken about man. And we tend to become just a way to suit the environment. We are different from all other human beings, believers in Allah and followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't just do just what people do and what we see and what appears to be right. It only appears to be good. So, in verse 6 of chapter 35, Inna shaytana lakum adu. Allah is saying, and this speaks nothing but the truth. Indeed, the devil, Satan, shaitan, is your enemy. He is your enemy. The statement should have finished it. Now the command became, Fattakhidhu. Fattakhidhu, take him. Don't leave him. Take him as an enemy. And how do you take him as an enemy? It should have been, he is your enemy, leave him alone. He is your enemy, take him as your enemy. That's more powerful. Take him as your enemy would mean you have the right to learn about you. Learn about his gradual deception. Learn about his tricks. Learn how he approaches the servants of Allah. When he cannot find one way, he goes to another. He never gives up. Yes. He cannot get us to disbelieve in Allah. He makes us believe, but he mixes our intention with some insincerity. That's the way of Shaitan. Yes. He makes us become insincere. Do it. But he brings in Riyah. We do things for recognition. We leave it. No one is looking at us. This is the way of Shaitan. We have to take note of this. Attakhiduhu aduwa. Shaitan makes us waste time. You see the wastage of time? Today we do not realize. Parents, take note. Holidays have begun. We love our children. Oh yes, they are on vacation. We allow them to enjoy hours and hours in front of the television, in front of those games. Hours and hours are being wasted, and we think we care for them, leave them alone. It's holiday. When they are left to do like that, they grow up to think that's quite right. Spend all the time, all the spare time, give it away to the technology. That life is given away to technology. Yes. The time of prayer comes, it doesn't mean much to them. Whereas the time to read Quran, you are doing something around the house, you're doing some plumbing, you're doing a little bit of electrical. Today you think about it, we are different from the fathers of some decades ago. Call your teenager boys, show them how to join a pipe, show them how to do some joinery. The world is changing. Today, young ladies are looking for dulahas. They are looking for grooms who can protect them, who can do something. Yes, not just have education. You have a resume, you have a job. And there is nothing you can do in the house. You cannot protect them. You see a snake and you yourself drop over the window. Today, girls are looking for boys who can be protected, who can work, who can fix a wrong in and out of the house. That's great. Now your boys, train them, show them trade. Education alone is not sufficient. Would you like just anybody to come into your house to fix the smallest of things? A switch goes wrong in the house. You got to call an electrician. Teach your boys to do something. Give up some of that time that they spend in technology. Wasting of time is on them. That's how Shaitan comes. A computer. I'm sure you know that. An Apple computer. Why it is you have an apple that is bitten, each piece of it is bitten off. It's not a whole apple. The reason is quite clear. Why did they not have a whole apple? While Islam says that the fruit from which Adam and Eve ate, there is no need to specify. They ate from a tree that was forbidden. Other religions like Bible, Testament have stipulated that to an apple. They said Adam ate from the apple. He bit the apple. That icon, that sign shows the big apple. It's a clear indication this is temptation. It's temptation just as Adam and Eve were tempted by Shaitan and bit the apple. There is an apple, a piece of it is eaten off. Take note, it's temptation. It has no much good. They have a little benefit. There is great harm in that benefit. There is no supervision. It's a wasting of time. Take note of it. That's how Shaitan does it. Allah is asking a question. Are you taking him وَزُرِّيَّتَهُ and his progenies, his offspring, awliya, as friends? O my believed servant, you have taken Shaitan and his children and his offspring as friends, including besides me? I love you so much. I can give you everything. I can make you laugh. I can make you cry. I can give you sickness. I can give you cure. I can give you peace of mind for the rest of your life. You will take in Shaitan, your enemy, and his offspring. Besides me, وَهُمْ لَهُمْ عَدُوٌّ, and they are your real enemy. بِئْسَ لِلظَّالِمِينَ بَدَلًا. What an evil exchange for the wrong words. Instead of Allah, we take Shaitan. And it's a gradual deception. That's how he comes back. Sly clocks. Shaitan doesn't just come and tell you leave your Farz namaz. He's smarter than that. You would resent that. We have Farz, we have Sunnah, Nafil. Farz, Sunnah, Nafil. The Farz namaz is like a structure built out of steel and iron, powerful. A structure built of steel and iron, strongest of all. That's Farz. The Sunnah, see it to be a building that is built of wood, a wooden structure. And as for the Nafil, a structure that is built of mud. Mud and straws. And God wants to come to you gradually. He will come and break down the structure that is built of steel and iron. You will catch it. Which is the first one you will look to break down? The one that is built of mud and straws. Why will he break it down? That is when we begin to read the Nafil. Some of us say, Ramadan is over. Don't read the Nafil. Even during Ramadan, some people didn't have that guidance to stand up and do some Nafil, any sort of Nafil. That is Shaitan's way. Get one to lead the Nafil, break down the earthen structure. When the earthen structure is broken down, he observes what is, you're okay with that. Now you're reading Farz and Sunnah. No Nafil. Now it's time to come at the structure built of wood. Demolishes the wood structure. That's when you just pray your Maghrib, pull off the Janamaz and you go. There is something of urgency. Something is waiting there for you. You need the Sunnah. Now you begin to feel a bit lazy. When the Farz time comes, you see it as a disaster. That is when Shaitan and his companions begin to destroy the building that is built of steel and concrete. When the time comes, Fajr namaz is passed by, you are lying. You are lying on your beds, you are tired. Because you stayed up late to the computer, you were looking at football, you were looking at cricket. Yes. That is something we have to take note of. Parents are the ones to help their children. That is why Allah said, oh, you believe, anfusakum, save yourself for ahlikum and your family from the fire. These verses were always alive over 1400 years ago. And they will remain in the Quran. They will remain in the hearts of believers until the last day. But how are we going to get there? We have to research them. We have to go to the places where they are being told, where they are being recited. Listen, grasp that soul, internalize it, act upon them. Only then they will be of benefit to us. Otherwise, on the day of judgment, there will be a lot of later. If only I knew, if only I had taken such and such as my companion, beware of the temptations of Shaitan. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُ يَا بَنِي آدَمَ, O children of Adam, لَا يَفْتِنَنَّكُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ, let not the devil seduce you كَمَا أَخْرَجَ أَبَوَيْكُمْ مِنَ الْجَنَّةِ, as he had taken out your parents out of Eve from the gardens. When Allah told them, do not go near the tree. Allah never said to Adam and Eve, do not eat from that tree. The word for eat, la ta'kula, do not eat. This was not the word used. La taqraba, do not go near that tree. Which means you should not even go near something that could lead to sin. Not even near to it. to the best of our ability. Do not go near that tree. Shaitan whispered to them, so that I can tell you that the tree, if you eat from it, you will live forever. And I never prevented you from the tree, except that if you eat from it, you will become two angels and you will remain alive forever. They took the bait, dropped from that tree, they ate it, and Allah shouted, did I not tell you? Did I not forbid you from this tree? No. Allah is saying, oh, servants, O children of Adam, let not Shaitan trick you, let not the devil seduce you, as he took out your parents from the gardens. And when he was expelled, Iblis, strong and arrogant, rather than be contrite and say sorry, that was no way in him. Not to feel sorry. He never was sorry. With his arrogance, he said, فَبِعِزَّتِكَ, by your honor, لَأَغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ, I will mislead all of them, إِلَّا عِبَادَكَ الْمُخْلَصِينَ, except your very faithful and dedicated servants. The rest of them, I will take them from the straight path, I will lead them away. That is indeed very unfortunate. My brothers and sisters, we take note of it. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ, Shaitan made all the evil things look nice. And this is what he continues doing. The things which are haram, the things which are wrong, Shaitan makes them look seemingly well. Today, there's so many people say, but I don't see anything wrong with that. What is wrong with that? How would you see something wrong with that? That's what you see, nothing wrong with it. But that is not the way it is. God made it look like something that is good deeds and kindness and efforts. This is the way laid out in the verse. The moment one begins to do virtuous actions, there are a lot of oppositions, a lot of obstructions. Yes. The moment you pick up the Quran to read, then the phone keeps ringing. You've got to close and answer the call. But the very phone that disturbs you from reading the Quran, when you are looking at the TV, that is on silent or switched off. Take note of how we behave. Allah is all hearing, is all seeing. It's unfortunate to mention that some people, even though they switch off or put their phones on silent or vibrate when they are in prayer, as soon as the Imam makes salam, not even the second salam, their hands are in the pocket, they pull out the phone and they press the buttons. Who was calling them? You forgot at the beginning of prayer, you said, Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. Come on, leave the world outside. Worship Allah as He ought to be worshipped. You don't realize, the one who does that doesn't realize the negative impact it has on the other worshippers, and He is punished for that. In the house of Allah, leave your phone aside. That should be left in the car. Even if you have it switched off, you feel a vibration when you enter. What's the urgency? Get to your sunnah namaz. Do what you have to do. Allah is watching. We go to the palace of the king. How we depart, how we enter with great dignity. Come on, we stand before Malik Yawmiddin, Master of the Day of Judgment. And that's our behavior. That's disrespectful. Allah, you ought to leave the phone aside. That's it. When we begin to do virtuous action, we are faithful to those. And we can say the same thing about evil deeds. They come along with a wealth of deception, faced with unending desires, and short-lived gratifications. That's how they are. That's the way of living that makes all the evil deeds look good. That's what Allah has mentioned. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمْ الشَّيْطَانُ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Shaitan has adorned and decorated all that they were doing. So much that we see nothing is wrong with it. Till the time runs out on us, there is no more time to regret. We regret. There is no coming back. Brothers and sisters, let us learn to evaluate ourselves. performing action and keeping up, piling up the actions is not enough. We have to learn about that preservation of our heart. Learn to preserve what we have. This is the best time any Khatib can remind himself and his audience about learning to protect and preserve what we have. May this message bring great sense to me and to you. Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Quran.